Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for the Real Housewives of Potomac Season 7, Episode 18, Reunion Part 1. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. So when the reunion first opens up, Giselle and RHOP thought they were gonna get away with saying whatever they said over there on that Sleepy Time podcast and didn't think that production was gonna insert here. But they had something for that ass, okay? So when it opens up with them giving the revelation that Robin shared with us after the fact, okay, telling us that Juan had in fact been doing something he ain't had no business doing. I'm like, don't be adding this to the beginning, honey, make it seem like y'all sharing now. It's too late, okay? It's too late. So then we see her Watch What Happens Live appearance, honey. Fast forward to 2 weeks earlier. So all of the ladies are arriving. We see Giselle getting out of her car service, ready to sit there for 8.5 hours to do anything she can to deflect and act like she doesn't know what's going on because she brought absolutely nothing but lies this season. We see Ashley in this $1.25 tree Barbie wig. Girl, what in the witness protection is happening here? I looked at that wig. I said, baby, Ashley gonna give us a witness protection program if she don't do nothing else. So then we see Wendy stepping out. We see Karen, she's arriving. Andy goes to visit the Grand Dame. So he was like, how do you feel about Shasha being here? And she was like, you know what? She deserves to be here. I mean, you guys filmed with her enough. God knows you put her everywhere you could. Andy said, okay. Yeah, leave her alone, honey. Don't ask questions if you are not prepared for the shade. So then he goes in to speak with Mia. Hey, girl. So he asks what she's looking forward to clearing up. She pretty much said everything, honey, because we know Mia lie a mile a minute. So then he moseys on down the hallway to Batman and Robin's dressing room. And so, you know, they're sharing. These two need each other to survive on this show. Let's break this thing up. Okay, let's break it up. And I also find it quite ironic that they're sharing a dressing room, but always having a fit about sharing rooms when they go on a trip. I don't want to hear nothing else about it, okay? Nothing else about it. So he asked if they're nervous about anything. Of course, they said no. So then he turns to Robin and he says, you're a married lady. A lying married lady, but a married lady nonetheless. I mean, y'all took a little break, honey, but don't think we forgot. The Super Bowl, Riri and her baby did not make us forget that Rob likes to lie. Moving forward. The fact that Robin is sitting here like she didn't keep her business to herself all season is really astounding. Like, the fact that it is really going on in this moment and she's acting like she didn't just keep all of her business to herself. Child, this is a mess. So then Andy said, are we seeing Ron today? She said, he's working. Andy said, oh, okay, I thought so. Child, not is Jamal coming? I don't think so. But a serious question though, y'all. How long is basketball season? Like, does the reunion always film during basketball season? Because it's very convenient that Juan is never there. I'm just trying to figure out how the basketball of it all is going, child. I'm just trying to figure it out. Now, he might be at the work job, so I'm going to leave him alone, honey. But, I mean, you can't never show up and y'all just are newly married. If it's any time for you to be sitting right behind her, it should be now. Oh, side note. Somebody commented on the fact that I say Rob. And they said something negative behind it, child. And I ain't even going to repeat it because it was just pure D ignorance. But let me get you together real quick. Since we're not going to be gathered here together much longer, we only have 2 more parts. And whatever this sit down going to be with Andy. I call Robin Rob because that's what Juan affectionately calls her. I didn't just pull Rob out of thin air. I don't care enough about Robin to give her a nickname. So there's that. Moving forward. So then he stops by Candiace's room and he brings up the mess that Chris was accused of. And she said, yeah, I mean, he's going to be here because he hasn't had a chance to speak. Well, child, according to that text message or that DM, he had a chance to speak. But child, let's get into it. So Candiace pulls out this shirt and she goes, Merry Christmas, Mazel. And gave Andy a shirt that says, not today, Satan, not today, ankles, not today, neck. I was like, okay, come through, merch, honey. Candy the Burris taught them best, honey. Turn those lemons into lemonade. Because you know Candy will make a merch out of anything, honey. I just know Andy will be wearing that to clean up around the house and whatnot. So now the ladies are on stage. The stage is set as Miami. Miami is not this dark. Like, I don't like the lighting. I really don't like the lighting. It doesn't do them justice. Now, granted, it did shine on top of them, but I feel like the setting leading up to the stage is a little bit too dark. But that's neither here nor there. That's just a side note. So, he speaks to all the ladies, y'all. He speaks to Karen. Hi, Andy. Ashley. How's single life? It's doing, honey, not giving what's supposed to be gave. He speaks to Gizzard. Hey, girl, things are good at the Etch a Sketch house. She's been seen with Jason from Winter House. Child, we don't give a damn. So Wendy is like, Andy, you missed it. You missed the tea. I asked Ashley if Luke hooked them up, and she was telling me the tea. So Ashley said basically Giselle was inquiring about Jason, and Ashley texted Luke, who texted Jason, who then DM'd Giselle. Child, not Giselle shooting her shot. And not Wendy making sure we knew that Giselle shot her shot. I can't stand Wendy. Wendy said, over here. Giselle is a sneaky link. Child, I ain't got time to be playing with y'all. Moving forward. So then next he spoke to Robin. Hey, girl. So he said, well, hell has frozen over because you're a married woman. She said, yeah, second time around. Karen was over there puckering up those lips. Y'all know how Karen be doing when she really want to say something, but she trying to hold it in. You know how them lips be moving. Child, I wish y'all could see me right now because I would be doing the Karen, honey. She be puckering them lips up. So Andy said, well, how does it feel? She said, like it did before. Honey, I'm sure it did. He was cheating then and he cheating now. Allegedly. This is what I feel. All jokes aside, I really feel like Robin only went through with this to keep her job and to shut the naysayers up. I don't feel like she's really happy to be back in that same place with Juan, because if you go back to season 1 and rewatch episodes of Real Housewives of Potomac, she was not too keen on remarrying, and Juan was the one that wanted to spend his life with someone, and she wasn't moving fast enough. So then he was like, well, I want to have another baby. And then she pretended like she wanted to do that. Then after we got done with that, it was, when are you getting married? 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 So now we're back here in this place. So, I mean, I just want so much more for her, despite how she is. And, she's on the wrong team. I really feel like Robin could have been something had she not been on the wrong team. But I really just want so much more for her because at the end of the day, I just think about her boys and I want her to be an example. And it's just not happening, child. So as she's talking, Karen over there yawning. Well, I mean, Robin's voice does give sleepy time. So, I mean, I can't be mad. Well, ma'am, don't be rude. Do not be rude, okay? Don't be rude. So Andy said, well, Karen, you never thought you would see the day. She said, I didn't, but I'm happy that I did. I'm sure. So then he spoke to Candiace and he said, Candiace, I have a question. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? This heifer gonna say, you would have to ask Ashley as she has the keys. Somebody to get Candiace. She must be stopped, honey. Now she got the keys to Sesame Street. Ciao. So then Andy said, well, that dress, on the internet, they're going to be giving a lot of Cookie Monster comparisons. Andy, not nobody was even thinking about Cookie Monster when they looked at Candiace's dress. You tried it, okay? I'm glad you're sitting down. Otherwise, I would tell you to have several seats. But Candiace is quick-witted. So she came right back and she was like, how do you know this dress is not an ode to Deborah and all her Cookie Monster ways? Honey, I know that's right. Andy does not like Candiace, like at all. It's been clear to me for some seasons, okay? Even when people were on the Candiace shut the hell up train, I've always known that Andrew is not quite fond of Candiace. You can just tell, even that little shade he just threw out. Oh, people are going to be saying that ain't nobody saying that but you. That's exactly how you think, how you feel, and you just said it and projected it onto us and the people over on the Twitter, and we are not saying that. So Andy gone, honey. So then he asked Wendy about her health, and she was like, it's good. I've been drinking red wine, tequila, and water, honey, mixing them all together. I'm fine. Then on over to Mia. He spoke. She said hello. Hey, girl. So then he asked how they felt about the seating. Honey, they don't like it, and I don't like it. I personally feel like it should have been the opposite. Ashley should be at the end of whatever couch, honey. I don't care which couch she on. She should be at the end. She should be over there where Mia is. Robin should be on the end of Wendy, facing Karen, not on the same side since they had beef. Like, this is the thing. They're never, because I know people are going to say this, they are never going to remove Karen and Giselle as front seat ever. That's because despite what people think, they are the face of Potomac. They are the OGs, the originals. Now, granted, Ashley came on season 1, but you wouldn't know it. And it's just when you think of Potomac, despite how you feel about Giselle, honey, old Gizzard, Giselle and Karen are what come to mind. So they will always have front seat. But aside from that, if they have first chair, next to Giselle should have been Mia, then Robin. Okay, and the only reason why I'm placing Robin at the end over there by Giselle is because I need her to face Karen when it's time to get into it. Because when they discuss the allegations that Karen brought up about Juan, what's she gonna do, turn and look to her? I'm like, okay, child. On Karen's side, should have been Karen, Wendy, Ashley, and Candiace. So it should have been Karen, then Candiace, then Wendy, then Ashley. Again, Ashley should be on the end. And we know the Green Eye Bandits, they livid about this seating arrangement, honey, because they're separated. But I guess the production said, listen, I'm going to let y'all go and get used to being apart because Robin might be out. Okay? So just go and get used to being without each other. Me and you must never part. Maki died. Child, y'all separate, honey. This was punishment for y'all keeping y'all business to y'allself, child. So Andy said, you know, it's decided by the production and who's getting along at the time. That still don't make no sense, Andrew. Okay, that don't make absolutely no sense. If you're not getting along, he said they won't put you next to each other. Child, I guess they learned from Portia and Kenya season 6 reunion, honey. When she pulled out that bullhorn and Portia tried to pull out her hair, child. Ooh, that was a whole fool. But to be honest, none of them really care for each other, so it is what it is, honey. Y'all just sit well. But let's just get the heifers together. Andy said they're a complicated group. Andy, you're lying about the seating arrangement, but y'all, all y'all do is lie. This franchise is a lie. You a lie. It's a lie. Everybody got a little lying problem. If we went by your logic, then Ashley, Giselle, and Robin would have been seated together because we all know they're in cahoots. We all know they got together to take everybody else down. So what you're saying makes absolutely no sense. But anyway, so then he starts with Ashley and this mess her and Michael came up with. He starts asking about her new home. Ashley said he lives 7 minutes away from her and has the key because of the kids. Girl, so basically he live at your house and he live at his too. That's what this gave me. She said there are stipulations. He can't just pull up on her. He has to give her an hour advanced notice. Girl, that's his house. He paying the mortgage. He got a key and he probably got a drawer for his drawers. He lives there. Like, what is this? So then Giselle brings up, girl, an hour, that's not really a lot of notice. He can just roll up anytime that he wants to. Absolutely. So Ashley's like, no, he has to ask permission. It's not guaranteed. Okay, Ashley. So then Andy asked about her relationship with Luke. And she said there was an incident when Luke was there. Michael was supposed to show up on a certain date, but dropped the kids off on a Sunday, which was a day earlier. Luke was there. He immediately had to get on the train and leave. Andy talking about why? Andy, don't nobody want their kids tracing in and out with all these different men? And Michael did that on purpose. He has too much access to you, Ashley. Cut the financial cord. Cut your ties and figure it out on your own. As long as he pays the cost to be the boss, he gonna continue doing whatever he wants to. Luke was just a test run. As soon as you get somebody else, he gonna come over again unannounced. He gonna come over again unannounced because he calls the shots. You depend on him to pay half that mortgage. So unless he's not doing that, he's gonna always do whatever it is that he wants to do. Girl, So she said out of respect for Michael and her kids, Luke had to leave. And I respect that. I mean, they had only been dating a month and they don't need to be meeting him. So Andy said, well, if he were Michael and saw Ashley carrying on with the likes of Luke, he would feel impotent. I mean, Luke ain't all that great, but he is a step up from Michael. I mean, so there's that. So Ashley said that he's dating too. Well, child, we know that. He was dating during the marriage. This ain't nothing new. She did say that she was falling in love with Luke. Girl, not you falling in love with Luke. Maybe he'll drive back. Shout out to Candiace. Why when Ashley said she was falling in love with Luke, here go Mia. Oh no. When I tell you I hollered the scream that I scrumped when Mia said, oh no. I thought that was so funny. I said, Mia, girl, stop. So here go Robin with her audacity talking about, but when is the divorce? Ma'am, please, 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 please. No follow-up questions from you. When we see your reality, okay, you can cross-examine the witness. But for now, just sit back. Okay, just sit back. So Ashley said, well, I can file in February It's February. I guess she gonna do it on the 30th, child. We'll see. So then Andy asked about the prenup. Basically, Ashley fumbled the bag, and all she's walking away with is her wig, her kids, and her house. Ashley, I'm speaking directly to you, honey. You let that man do all that, and he's still walking away scot-free? So his money is his money. Whatever he came in with is his money. Whatever he invested with said money is still his money. And the whole time I'm thinking, what about the Thunder Down Under restaurant? Whose money is that? Well, that did go down under. So, yeah, that's not a good one. Damn. Child, this is crazy. She doesn't even know how much he's worth and what he has. She's not even getting alimony. Okay. This is the second housewife I done seen come out on the other side with not now piece of a coin. Portia, season 6, came out with nothing. Ashley, season 7, came out with nothing. If y'all are going to be marrying these well-off, wealthy men, please make sure that you leave with something. Like, oh my goodness, honey. So they get a comment from a woman named Portia. And she said that she doesn't buy that Ashley's getting a divorce because Michael wants threesomes. She feels that the prenup is up, the babies are out, and it's time to secure the bag. So Mia was like, ooh, she didn't even secure the bag. So then Candiace gonna look over at Rob and talk about, Portia who? Portia Williams. Girl, now leave P. Willie out of it, okay? She's somewhere sprawled out with Simon, honey. Please leave her out of it. So Ashley was like, well, I mean, I just really want monogamy and I want that for my kids. The bottom line is Michael wouldn't stop cheating. This is all alleged, okay? Michael wouldn't stop cheating. And the saying isn't always what you should do, which is if you can't beat them, join them. Ashley wanted to have a full-on white picket fence marriage, but she was already flip-flopping them in and out the bed like pancakes, and she wanted to stop, and he didn't want to stop. And so since he couldn't stop cheating, she decided to bounce on over there down in the winter house. That's just the bottom line. So then Andy looks to Mia. Baby, this right here was a fool. It couldn't be me. It couldn't be me. And I don't care what y'all say. Okay. You know what? Actually, I'm going to save that and I'm going to create a short because I really want to have a dialogue about what I think. So I'm going to keep this part to myself, but let's continue. So then Andy looks to Mia and says, Mia, you clearly don't share that commitment to monogamy. I said, baby, they be letting him eat them up. When Andrew decides to clock in for work, he will look at you just as stone-faced and say something just as shady. Honey, it couldn't be me, child. And baby, the shade. Do y'all hear me? I wouldn't have even answered Andrew. I would have looked right at him and said, say what now? You say what? Oh, okay. Was this about me or was this about Ashley? Okay, well, let's continue on with Ashley. So Mia said, with the kids, I couldn't do as much as I wanted to do, but I did know that the same things that I did to get my husband, I had to keep doing them to keep my husband because it wasn't fair for her to just change. And I was like, so you had to bring in others to keep G and to get G? Okay. So then he reads a comment that said, Ashley, you said that Candiace was the least accomplished person on the couch, but this season she has a flourishing career and you can't pay for your house. Do you still think she's the least accomplished? Now, after Andy read that question, he gonna say, wow, that's mean. Well, I didn't hear you say it was mean when Ashley actually said it to Candiace that season. It was mean then, and that comment is mean now. So Ashley said, well, I apologize to Candiace, but I am accomplished and nobody's gonna make me feel any less than. So then Candiace said, I just think it's funny that when I first joined the group, they had so much to say about my mom helping me. So Ashley said, well, I stand by the fact that I feel like as an adult, at some point in time, you need to be responsible for yourself. Somebody bring Ashley a mirror out of the dressing room. Ma'am, you went this entire season acting confused and dingy over there talking to Uncle Lump and afraid to cut off Michael's wallet. You're an adult and he's taking care of you. So what are you even talking about? So then Ashley's like, it's obvious this is still a touchy subject for you. And Candiace said, yes, because you talked about my generational wealth the entire time. And also, Ashley, you're a hypocrite. Ashley gonna say, well, when my children are 30 years old, best believe that they're gonna have a home in their name. Now, Ashley, I could say so much about that statement that you just made about you being 30 and having a home in your name, but I'm gonna leave you and your Bob alone. Okay, I'm going to leave you and your Bob alone because it ain't even worth it. It is nothing wrong with her family being able to help her start out. White people do it all the time. I just don't understand why it was a problem that her mom is helping her to start out. They're doing the exact same thing for her sister. It sounds like a little resentment because you weren't afforded the same luxuries. And that is okay. You know, I hate when people say, oh, they're just jealous or she's just jealous. I hate that. But I really do see some jealousy in Ashley when it comes to Candiace. I am really starting to see it. Moving forward. So then Andy asks Ashley if she's going to keep her last name. She says she's going to keep it for the kids. So they get ready to go to commercial, right? And so Giselle and Ashley, they kind of whispering or whatever, having a little side conversation about Luke. So Ashley was like, yeah, girl, he didn't even want to come down there. So it's obvious he don't really want to see me. So I think we're pretty much done because I told him don't be stringing me along. Girl, you have to let go of Mr. Burns if you want a true chance at a new romance. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. Nobody wants to be chaperoned by Michael every time they want to hang out with you. You got to let him go. Okay, get the divorce and then find the new man. But we all know you really ain't getting no divorce, honey. You ain't fooling me. So then we come back. We talk to Mia. Hey, girl. So Andy asked Mia about her diagnosis. First, he said that he's happy that she's cancer-free, which I am too. He said he was happy about that. And she said that she has a large lymph node and a bum bump, which they thought was sarcoidosis, but they did an x-ray and it's not that. So they flashed back to when the lady was talking to her in the dermatologist office. Now, I just want to say this. The very last review I did for the Real Housewives of Potomac, some people were kind of offended because I said she had a rash. When we look back on this reunion and the clip that they played back, I was not trying to be ugly for anyone suffering from that. That is actually the way that they described that on the screen, which was very irresponsible of them. Because for people who are unfamiliar with sarcoidosis and what it is, then we don't know how it affects your body. So the lady just saying it's like a rash. That's why I said it was like a rash. But I would never not take someone's illness seriously. So I just want to make sure I put that out there. So they're talking about that. So then Robin piping up yet again, talking about, so what was it? She said that she was on medication. They found out that she has tissues growing in her reproductive organs. She has to have surgery to get it removed so it doesn't turn into a full-on hysterectomy. I'm still lost. All I can say is, Mia, whatever's ailing you, I hope you get better, child. Moving forward. So Andy said, well, people were saying that it may be a side effect of all the surgeries and the Botox and the nips and the tucks and all of this. So Mia said that they did think about that because sarcoidosis is caused by that. So if she had that, then it would be like a foreign object is in her body that her body is trying to reject. And I'm glad that she was upfront about it and didn't lie and say, well, no, I mean, I'm perfectly fine when it comes to that. She did say that that's something that they were looking at. So that clears that up. So baby, then Andy moved on over to Wendy and said that Wendy was a fake and a fraud. Okay. And a person saying Wendy was a hypocrite because she was caught on hot mic saying that she did in fact think that Mia was lying. So Wendy was like, I mean, I owned it while the episode was playing. I tweeted like a GIF or something like that. So I owned it. She was saying that she wasn't saying that to Robin because of her thinking that Mia was a lie. It was how her and Giselle approached Mia. So Mia was like, so why did you even say that? Wendy said, because I thought you were lying. She said, okay, so why were you smiling in my face if you thought I was lying? I mean, that is a good question. But to be fair, Leah, you have a history of lying. So, I mean, I'm sure they all thought that. Giselle was the only one tacky enough to say it to your face. Let's just keep it real. Ashley and her little smirk, she didn't believe it. Karen and her little puckered up lips, she didn't believe it. Gizzard didn't believe it. RHOP didn't believe it. They didn't believe it. But Giselle is tactless. So whenever she feels like saying something, she gon' damn say it. And she did just that. So Mia says she would have loved to take them to the hospital to show them that she wasn't lying. Child, don't even worry about it. So then Andy switched gears to the business side and he brought up the tweet that she made about Gordon's brother locking them out of their bank account. And Andy was wondering how can he do that if Mia is the CEO? So Mia went on this diatribe about how when a partner is on an account, they can lock out the other person. And I'm like, oh, child. So Giselle is like, I have questions. Well, honey, save it for Robin. Okay, save it for Robin in your Sleepy Time podcast. Everyone is like, what? That's not true. What are you saying? So Mia is trying to defend herself. And she's like, if y'all don't know business, y'all just don't know business. Mia said they had a meeting. There are board members and there are managers or something like this, child. And they voted them out. Basically, they were outnumbered. Andy asked why they voted them out. Mia says it's because they partnered with someone major and they thought that they were going to be voted out. So they tried to beat them to it, basically. So Karen is trying to figure out how can they kick Mia out if she owns over 40% of the company. So Mia said, well, they voted me out because it doesn't matter about the percentage. Okay. It's when they vote. It's just when they vote. At this point, I'm just another vote. They voted me out. That's just that on that. Now we're trying to figure out how many people are on the board, honey. It's 8. I thought it was 3. Carry the 1 and divide by 4. Honey, I don't know. Okay. We don't know for sure. And the girls really don't give a damn. Baby, they was all laughing. So Mia got upset because they were laughing at her. Now, at first I was like, well, now, y'all don't laugh at a child. She's going through something financially. She's trying to figure it out. But then I thought about Mia last season. Mia, you made it a point to call all of them broke and say how they didn't have businesses and they didn't know this and they didn't know that and how you make $450,000 a year. You said that last season when y'all went on that trip. Now you mad that they laughing? Girl gone. So then Andy asked, so what's the current state? Because Mia said, listen, I'm not answering no more questions. These heifers is laughing in my face. Y'all think it's funny. If y'all don't know business, I'm not about to explain it to you. Honey, well, we know Giselle don't know no business, honey. She had that little makeup line for about 2 days. And as soon as the panorama hit, she was done. So anywho, Andy asked what the current state was. And she said she still owns her shares. They're trying to sell it so they can get what they can get out of it because clearly they cannot get along. So then Giselle asks, well, did the brothers think that you were embezzling money? Were they worried about how the money was spent because there were cars and houses and lions and tigers and bears? Like, are they saying that you embezzled? Because it's looking a little bit like embezzled. Girl, worry about embellished. Them hats that Robin over there. Girl, worry about that. And who made you co-host? I was like, now who done put Gizzard in charge, child? So Giselle is asking the questions, honey. And of course, Andrew letting her do whatever she want to do because he's confused. So Mia said, if I was stealing, why would I go public? Like if we were embezzling money, like why? Child, I don't know. Ask Jen Shaw, Teresa Giudice, and Erica Jane. Bravo, good for a good jail storyline. Girl, goodbye. So then Giselle said, I think you just want to get in front of it. Mia, I want you to pay attention to Giselle trying to call you out. But then you go sit and grin in her face because you want to be accepted. So I just want you to make sure you pay attention. Okay? Moving forward. So then Andy asked about her moving out of her house. And she said there's no money coming in. So we're basically living off our savings and we had to move. So Andy goes, so you were renting this large house. And then Mia was like, we rent several homes. Why though, Mia? Why? Why are you trying to keep up with the Joneses? Why? Why would you just go around renting places? She says she has 2 rentals in Charlotte and, of course, the rental that she had in Potomac. So Andy was asking her why. She's like, because we're bi-coastal. Ma'am. I gotta end this review. I don't have time to play with them. They done came back and got on my nervous system just that quick. Wendy gonna say, but Charlotte and Maryland are on the same coast. Just leave it alone, Dr. Wendy. Just leave it alone. It's a different Charlotte. Me, I'm trying to help you out. It's a different Charlotte on the other coast, Wendy. Oh my goodness. These people so crazy, child. Oh, honey, that Mia knows she got a little line problem, honey. She's like, yeah, but I mean, we go to both coasts, east and west. We go to the east and the west coast. We're there. Poor Mia. They should have saved this segment for when Gordon came out so he can geographically get it together, honey. So Andy asked Giselle what she thought about Mia being so open. She's uncomfortable because we don't know nothing about her other than who she was married to and the fact that he cheated and the fact that she has 3 beautiful girls in an Etch-a-Sketch house and she got rid of the Gucci Fiat. Other than that, we don't know anything about Giselle. But she said that she likes the fact that Mia gets in front of the story because at first she thought, girl, like, what are you doing? So they go on break. They come back from commercial with Giselle FaceTime and Grace. Andy is like, are you driving? You need to keep your eyes on the road. So Giselle is like, Daddy Andy has spoken. He's like, yeah, I'm your daddy. I just didn't want to tell you this way. So like they're making a little joke. So then Giselle leans over and she goes, is this inappropriate? Have you ever been with a woman? He said, no, but I'm curious about it. So then she asked how old he was, and he said 54. And she was like, well, if it doesn't happen by 60, then I'll do it. Ew. Now, baby, that is inappropriate. He said, well, that's an HR issue. So is what she was accusing Chris of. Giselle, that was just tacky. I said, say what? Oh, honey, you need to make sure the mics are down before you start talking all that talk. So then they show Candiace's package, and they show never before seen footage of Giselle receiving basically a text message from Chris. Giselle claims it was an admission. No, it was not, girl. Him saying I apologize if I made you uncomfortable is not an admission. It actually isn't even an apology. Apologies aren't I'm sorry if. I didn't mean if. No, if means that they don't think they did anything. But nice try, Gizzard. Chris, let me speak directly to you, honey. Stop communicating via DM with these ladies. Stop it. Candiace, tell your husband, do not DM not one more of the ladies on this cast because it will be looked at as shady and uncomfortable and weird. Stop it. Okay, these ladies are not your friends. So Andy said, well, I don't know if that's an admission. Child, it ain't. Moving forward. So Candiace said, well, that message was before all the footage, and we saw her talking about he was a sneaky link, and she had 15 different versions of the story. So Candiace said, you know, she's used to men trying to step to her, and she thought Chris was trying to see if she was with it. And Giselle said, well, I apologize for that. She said, apologize to who? She said, no, I'm apologizing to you, Candiace, and I will apologize to him for that term that I use. Yeah, Giselle, because you saying things you hear on social media and you was using it all wrong, honey. So then here comes Ashley talking about she puts a little sauce on things. Ashley, fall back, please. This doesn't have anything to do with you. Please be quiet. So Candiace quickly shut Ashley down, as she should. So then Robin starts chiming in. Candiace said, no, it's not about that. It's about the fact that she waited for it to be on camera so she could earn her check. Now she wants to offer me an apology. You can stick that apology up your ass. Here go, Andy. Oh, okay. Apology not accepted. Yeah, she brought this out to piggyback off Ashley because her, Ashley, and Robin wanted to make sure that they talked about anything else but Juan's many indiscretions, and they ain't fooling me. That's the reason why this storyline was born. Giselle was like, I never was going to say anything. No, you were not, until this thing came out about Juan that you knew about before y'all started filming. So to help Robin keep it mom's the word, you decided to go against Chris, and Robin pretended like she was on Candiace's side so that it didn't look too obvious when clearly we all know it was some BS, child. So then she comes back with, well, what about him lying about me asking to go to the room? Who said it was a lie besides you, Giselle? So Candiace said, okay, let's play semantics. If he said, let's go into the room, then why? And then she cut Candiace off. She's like, well, why did he lie about it? Right when it was about to get good, Andy cut her off talking about, okay, well, he's going to come out. He's going to talk about it. Anyway, let's switch gears. Andy, no, sir. We want to hear it. Let them talk. So then he asked her about her IVF journey, and she has 6 embryos. Candiace, I'm very happy for you. I hope everything goes well. So then he reads a comment stating that Giselle accused Chris of SA, which he did not do. So Candiace said, well, when she said that he grabbed Ashley's friends behind, that's what I was referring to. So Giselle talking about, we all thought that. We all thought that's what Ashley said. No, you did not. All of you did not. Robin wasn't even there. She was in the Sprinter waiting on her free ride back into town after her dramatic exit because she didn't want to be bothered with Wendy. She was not even in there. They all thought that after you spread that lie. And why are y'all not saying nothing? Why are y'all saying, no, I didn't hear that. No, I didn't say that. I couldn't mess with none of y'all. When I say none, I mean absolutely none. Then here comes Robin. Now she's switching up, talking about, well, can we agree that it's not the best idea for a married man to be in a hotel room with a single woman? Is that why you allowed Juan to be alone with that single woman in that hotel room because he wasn't married yet? I'm sorry, allegedly. Okay? Because, oh, you know what? I'm wrong. I'm wrong on that. Retraction. He just put his card down and walked away. Okay. So Robin talking about, we shouldn't miss that message. Let's not miss that message. Robin, why are you saying that now? But you sat with Chris and Candiace saying that Giselle was blowing it out of proportion. Now all of a sudden you want to pipe up and say this. See now, Candiace, you will be grinning all in Robin's face when she gonna defend her friend to the end. I want you to open your eyes up. So Andy asked if she was worried about damaging Chris's reputation. Giselle, that is. Child, no. Anything to deflect. So Giselle said, people want to say it's me and I like to destroy families, but we've all said things. She was like, Candiace, you said something about Michael. Girl, who didn't? Candiace said, nope. This is not an all lives matter moment. You are the culprit. And that's just that on that. So Giselle was like, I wasn't going to say anything. But then Ashley had the DMs. And so then Wendy pipes up and she's like, the viewers and myself, we would be more inclined to believe you if this were not a pattern. Okay. You have a problem, but then you talk about it only when the cameras are rolling. Candiace said, well, she's seen me plenty of times, even before filming started. She saw me at my album release party. So Giselle goes, so you wanted me to tell you then? Candiace said, no, but you wait to get on TV and tell me? You're not smart. Y'all, the whole time that they fussing, the way Karen's head keeps going back and forth like she's at a tennis match. Baby, Karen didn't say a peep on part 1 of this reunion. I said, honey, she trying to keep all her energy for when Shasha hit the stage. Do you hear me? She said instead of talking about her uterus, she would rather mess with people's families. And she uses this show to lie on people because she has nothing else going on. Now, I'm going to say this. I have to agree with Candiace to a certain extent. Giselle does use this show to tell lies. She has been caught in lie after lie after lie for seasons. If y'all don't believe me, please go back and rewatch. Okay, please go back and rewatch. Now, I wouldn't have brought up her uterus only because we're all women. And at the end of the day, anything can happen to any one of us. And Candiace, you want to have kids. So we just want to make sure that, look, just because she does whatever she does, don't mean you have to do whatever you do. And I know some people are going to be like, nah, you can't tell her how to respond. I'm not telling her how to respond. I just want to make sure she gets everything that she's praying for. That's it. Okay. And I think what she meant was, you could have been talking about your uterus and getting your hysterectomy and your fibroids, but you chose to talk about my husband instead. So this is what you get. And that was the end of Reunion Part 1. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about Reunion Part 1. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.